You ready?
How to Train Your Dragon is the #1 movie in the world. And it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Toothless, stay.
And verified hot with a 98% audience score. This is how you reimagine a classic.
It's you and me, bud.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Welcome to Movie Recap Time Channel. This is no mere story, not even a simple epic tale. It's a living legend that burns with unparalleled intensity in the heart and soul of every Viking. A flame forged over countless generations on the remote and challenging Isle of Berk. In this untamed world where survival is a constant dance with danger, and honor is not a birthright, but a banner earned with every drop of sweat and every axe blow. A cardinal concept governs existence. Worthiness is measured, sculpted, and glorified through the incessant slaying of dragons. It's the cornerstone of their culture, the foundation of their identity, the rite of passage that defines a true warrior. Yet in this ancient cycle of conflict and bloodshed, an unexpected soul will emerge, a spirit that, against all logic and tradition, will dare to execute the utterly unthinkable, to forgive their fiercest enemy, and against all odds, turn them into their most loyal friend. This act of audacity and compassion belongs to Hiccup Horrendous Haddock III, a young Viking who by fate's design was born and raised in a perpetual crucible of war and fire. His lanky, seemingly fragile figure starkly contrasts with the robustness and imposing stature that characterize his lineage. Hiccup represents an anomaly in a society where brute strength and combat prowess are the most valued currencies. His greatest desire, a silently consuming longing, is to gain the much-coveted approval of his formidable father, Stoic the Vast, the revered chieftain of the tribe, and finally earn the elusive respect of his village. He dreams of the day he can emulate his ancestors, bring down a formidable dragon, and thereby forge his own place of honor in Berk's history. Hiccup aims with feverish determination. His target is none other than the most elusive and feared creature of all, the Night Fury. Hiccup achieves his goal. His projectile hits its mark, bringing the mythical Night Fury crashing down from the heavens. A distant roar of the fallen dragon echoes in the night. However, the euphoria of his triumph is fleeting, quickly eclipsed by the deafening roar of the battle raging around him. The chaotic frenzy of the raid, culminating in the devastation of vast sections of the village, absorbs all attention, and his incredible feat goes completely unnoticed, his claim dismissed in the whirlwind of the emergency. Stoic, his father, burdened by the weight of his leadership and exhausted by the constant threat looming over his people, sees in Hiccup's recurring disasters a source of deep frustration. In an attempt to channel his son's energies towards something useful and mold him into the Viking form, Stoic imposes a path that Hiccup, ironically, no longer wishes to tread. Hiccup ventures into the dense, ancient forests surrounding Berk, following a trail of destruction and ash, the scar of his fallen prey. It is in the depths of this green sanctuary that he finally discovers the magnificent creature, the Night Fury, trapped and immobilized by his own invention. The sight of the dragon, with its light-absorbing obsidian skin and intense eyes, leaves him breathless. Faced with the majesty of the beast, now vulnerable and helpless, Hiccup is confronted with a choice that will challenge every fiber of his Viking upbringing. Tradition dictated the killing blow. Honor demanded the enemy's blood. But Hiccup, with his innate sensitivity, cannot bring himself to execute it. Instead, in an act of pure compassion that goes against everything he has been taught, he makes a decision that will change the course of his life and the destiny of his village. This act of clemency is the genesis of an extraordinary and strictly forbidden bond. The dragon lets out a furious roar and lunges at Hiccup, who stands paralyzed by fright, only to realize at that moment a surprising peculiarity. This creature's teeth are almost invisible, retractable.
It is because of this unusual characteristic that Hiccup, in a burst of affection and wonder, gives it the name Toothless. What follows is a flight through the sky of indescribable beauty, a dance among the clouds that opens Astrid's eyes to a completely new reality. It is at this moment of relative calm, amidst the breathtaking aerial view, when a dozen dragons appear, carrying prey and heading toward a distant volcano. Intrigued, Hiccup and Astrid follow them. What they discover inside the volcano is not just a nest, but a vast underground hive, a terrifying ecosystem where dragons act as forced laborers. There resides a creature of monstrous proportions, a colossal alpha dragon, the Red Death, which controls them and forces them to bring it food, threatening to devour them if they fail. This shocking revelation not only explains the raids, but also solidifies the alliance between Hiccup and Astrid. Before parting ways, Astrid, still shaken, but with a new understanding, gently punches Hiccup for kidnapping her, and then, in an unexpected gesture of affection and recognition, kisses him on the cheek, sealing their growing bond. The day of the killing ceremony has arrived. Stoic, with renewed pride, proclaims Hiccup the new Dragon Master, the Viking who, in just a few weeks, has surpassed all expectations. The crowd cheers, oblivious to the truth Hiccup holds in his heart. Before entering the arena, Hiccup begs Astrid not to intervene, trusting in his father's respect for her. But Astrid, now his unconditional ally, assures him she will be by his side because Hiccup possesses something unique, a gift that transcends brute strength. The gate opens and an imposing monstrous nightmare emerges. The arena fills with tension. Hiccup, instead of attacking, throws his tools to the ground, declaring in a firm voice that he will not harm the dragon. Stoic's fury erupts. He orders the fight stopped, which only causes the dragon to rage and attack indiscriminately. From a distance, Toothless, sensing Hiccup's danger, flies into the arena. His appearance leaves the crowd utterly stunned. The Night Fury intervenes quickly, cornering the dragon into its cell. But instead of being cheered, it is surrounded by Vikings. Stoic, overwhelmed by rage and grief, orders Toothless chained with the other captured dragons. Hiccup pleads with his father to release Toothless, desperately trying to explain the truth about the Red Death. But Stoic, blinded by the memory of losing his wife to a dragon, refuses to listen. His words are cold and cutting. "You are no longer one of us. You are no Viking. You are not my son." A devastating blow to Hiccup. Despite his fury, or perhaps fueled by it, Stoic decides to launch an expedition to the dragon's nest, tying Toothless to guide them forcibly to their doom. Hiccup, stripped of his identity and his best friend, sits dejected. Astrid approaches, offering comfort. He confesses that his only intention was to protect them, and that perhaps he should have killed Toothless when he had the chance. But Astrid assures him that precisely by not doing so, he has become the first Viking not to kill a dragon, and the first to ride one. Hiccup reveals the profound reason for his decision. Upon seeing the frightened dragon, he saw himself, a reflection of his own fear and vulnerability. In that instant, they recognized each other. Astrid tells him that even if fear is real, he must act. And so, Hiccup, with a renewed spark, decides to do something crazy. As Stoic and the Viking fleet venture out to sea, they notice the dragons in the area remain strangely quiet. An ominous premonition. Far away, Hiccup and Astrid have recruited the Dragon Training Academy students. Hiccup explains the true threat, the urgency of helping his father. Bravely, they all agree to join the pause, understanding that their people's fate hangs in the balance. Hiccup returns to the training arena, there, where that morning he refused to kill the most imposing dragon, he now tames it with ease. Then he frees the other captured dragons, assigning one to each of the young Vikings. With astonishing speed, the young Vikings, now dragon riders, head to the nest. Meanwhile, Stoic and the Vikings have reached the volcano. They begin to strike the walls, trying to destroy it. But as soon as they attack, all the dragons flee in a panic. Toothless, still chained on the ship, struggles desperately to break free. Just then, the earth trembles, and a creature of colossal proportions, the Alpha Dragon, emerges from the depths of the volcano. It spews fire, consuming and sinking the Viking ships one after another. Gobber and Stoic, with immeasurable courage, decide to stay and create a distraction, sacrificing themselves so that the others can escape. Just as the immense beast is about to finish Stoic, a shadow falls over them. Stoic is stunned, a mix of disbelief and pride in his gaze, as he sees his son leading the young Vikings, all mounted on dragons. From the skies, Hiccup spots Toothless, still chained, and directs Astrid to free him, while he and the others continue to fight. In the chaotic battle, Snotlod, with a precise strike, manages to climb onto the giant dragon and hit its eyes, finally earning his own father's proud grants. Toothless, still chained, falls into the water. Hiccup dives to rescue him, but the water's force is immense. At that crucial moment, Stoic intervenes, pulling Hiccup from the water and then returning for Toothless. Once freed, Toothless doesn't hesitate to pull Stoic from the water. Hiccup quickly mounts Toothless before leaving for the final attack. Stoic confesses to his son that everything he did was to protect him. Hiccup, with a maturity that transcends his age, replies, "Now I will protect you." Then Stoic utters the words Hiccup had longed for his entire life. "No matter what, I'm proud to call you my son." A bond once broken is sealed in that moment with unbreakable strength. Meanwhile, Astrid's dragon gets trapped in the Alpha Dragon's mouth. She, with admirable bravery, lunges to cut its teeth, putting herself in grave danger. Hiccup and Toothless, seeing her, fly to her rescue. The Vikings watch in astonishment as an epic aerial battle unfolds, a ballet of fire and skill in the skies. Hiccup and Toothless soar above the clouds, guiding the dragon to attack the beast's wings, severely damaging them. They don't realize that Toothless's artificial tail has begun to burn, but the dragon continues fighting. Finally, they manage to defeat the Red Death in a devastating explosion. However, in the process, Hiccup falls into the void, and Toothless, despite his damaged tail, dives without hesitation after him. Silence hangs over the battlefield as the smoke clears. Stoic, desperate, searches for his son. He only finds Toothless, gravely injured, lying on the ground. Stoic's heart sinks, devastated. Gradually, the other Vikings and the young ones approach, moved by the grief. Astrid and Gobber arrive, and Astrid places a hand on Stoic's shoulder, bursting into tears. But then, a miracle! Toothless slowly opens his wings, and there, safe, lies Hiccup, unconscious.
the dragon protected him with his own body, saving him just in time. The news spreads like wildfire, filling everyone with joy. Vikings and dragons, once enemies, now united by a bond of awe and gratitude. Stoic, with a full heart, deeply thanks Toothless for saving his son's life. Later, Hiccup wakes up next to Toothless. He discovers that, as a consequence of the explosion, he has lost a foot. Gobber, with his practical ingenuity, has made him a replacement prosthetic. Hiccup accepts it with composure and begins to practice walking with it, while Toothless, faithful as ever, accompanies him, even helping him reach the door. Upon opening it, Hiccup is surprised to see that the entire village has changed. Humans and dragons now live in harmony, a peaceful coexistence that once seemed impossible.
Stoic approaches. Hiccup hugs him with pride, and Stoic confesses that his flight back on the back of a dragon was quite an experience. Astrid appears, gently punches Hiccup for scaring her, and then kisses him passionately for everything else, for having changed their lives. Stoic, with a smile, comments that all that was needed was a little more Hiccup. Gobber, ever practical, interjects to remind everyone that he was the one who made Hiccup's prosthetic and who found his plans and rebuilt Toothless's tail. Together, Hiccup and his dragon Toothless, with their new prosthetics, happily soar through the skies of Berk. And so, this story, born from the courage of a young man who chose compassion over confrontation, becomes the legend of a new era for Berk, where humans and dragons are no longer enemies, but family. Peace has been forged by the bravery of a heart that defied all expectations and found true strength in friendship.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an exciting story. More thrilling recaps are on the way, and you won't want to miss them. Drop a comment below and let me know your favorite moment from this story. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay tuned, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Movie Recap Time Team.